first order of business, can I have a move to approve the minutes from the March meeting?
I move that we approve our minutes.
A second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, 800 series. Chase, do you want to take it from here, or?
It's pretty small. We were talking about rye bread.
Rye flour is
Rye
how you
flour is the
make
basis.
rye bread. We figured that out.
That's
Yes.
Oh, well, the 800 series.
Yes.
Do you have anything?
So I would just point out a couple of things, and I apologize, I don't have the numbers pulled up specifically, but most of it is pretty straightforward. Two of the things that are covered is the set of policies. It's our naming process for naming buildings after buildings. And buried deep in the regs is a line that says the person must be deceased. And so we added some language to make that more clear and upfront so that we don't get recommendations for people that are alive. That's common for universities or public entities to do that, and we don't suggest changing it. We just want to make it more visible that the person needs to be deceased before we're going to name a facility after them.
We have, yeah.
Christine Grant was
Yeah.
She was, right, and there is kind of I mean,
The board would always have the ability
to suspend that if it was a Christine Grant type situation. I think that's pretty specific or, pretty unique. One of the examples that comes to mind is, not so much here in the Midwest, but up and down the coast, up and down the East Coast, there were schools named after Bill Cosby. Because of the prominent role he played, right, in the African-American population, and things he did. And then when it came out that he had done all these terrible things, all these districts had schools that were named after him. So there are just, there are just examples of that, of where it's a best practice. But it was actually not change of practice, it's already in there. Yes, we have, well, I thought you were going to go with the Jerry Arkenway Auditorium example. But Christine Grant is much better. And that'd be one that's reflected here. The other one I would point out, and I still haven't been able to find, sorry, because I was talking, the number would be
I think it's all.
Chase, I have them highlighted if you, which one?
804.6 R1.
Do you know what page that is?
47, I think.
So, based on past, it's in the student record section, so based on some past legal guidance, we have been told that any time you provide a video to a parent to just look at, not get, just to look at, that we had to redact all the faces of the video except those of that child at our own cost, which is different than our FOIA process, our records request. But, and we checked this too, but based on this policy that we already had from ISBA and our legal counsel kind of affirming that, we actually don't have to do that. There is no obligation to blow around the face of any bystander student or even a student involved in the incident if a parent wants to look at the video of their child. It's been a massive lift on our part on the back end trying to do that. It creates concerns where it takes us 3 or 4 weeks sometimes, and so a parent just gets frustrated that they can't see the video. So we're going to change that practice and not blow out those faces, which creates a different challenge in your principals on because you don't want to make retaliate. So we added this language to clarify the district will not tolerate any discrimination or retaliation towards students, employees, parents, or members of the school community by individuals that view a recording. So we don't simply go see this and listen to it and go out and make sure that they know they can't do that. The other part of this is that we do not have to provide them the video just to watch it, but they can request it. So we want to make it clear that if a parent requests the video, we are not going to give it to them as a student record. They're going to have to go through our records request process process, which means that we would redact the faces, and we would charge them for it. Just because that's our standard practice with the redactions. The law is clear that on videos we don't have to give them to them as part of the student record. So it's trying to be consistent because it just is such a time headache for our staff, but also we want to be compliant with what the law says and what the policies are. So those, a lot of other things are just kind of changing more here or there throughout the policies, but those would be the two that I would point out, the naming and then this, these small additions on the use of recording devices.
So if they want to view it right away, they can come and watch it. It's, if they want their own copy, that's what'll take longer. And it'll be redacted,
Yeah.
and they have to pay for it.
And most of them don't want a copy.
No.
They just want to see what happened, right? And so I don't think we'll run into that too often.
They think their child could never have thrown an apple out the window of the bus and they want to see it. Not that ever happened. Nobody ever throws fruit from the bus. That's why I use that example. It never happens.
Or every day when I pull out Southeast. Literally, I watch the stuff come out of the bus.
So Chase, is there any attempt or obligation to provide information to the parents of kids where they don't have them in the videos?
Thanks, Charlie. No, the policy specifically says they can view it unredacted without the consent of any student in the video or the parent that urges the student to video. So don't ask me why. That was not kind of what we thought it was, but that's where it is.
How often does that happen? Just like ballpark? They don't see the.
Not daily, but probably once a month. Maybe once every 6 weeks we have a parent that requests to see a video or they request it through the older records request. A lot of bus video requests. Those more than just in school, but it's not every day, but it's not infrequent.
Anything else on that one? I did have a question on 802.1G1. It's on page 14. It's just the language about the pesticides when possible. And just put up here. When possible, the contractor/staff will apply pesticides when school is not in session. Is that going to be a rare occurrence, or I mean, is that just like just in case type of thing? Or?
Think of wasp.
Okay.
That's why it says that.
Okay.
It's not to, if you're thinking weeds
This is
and
not like a
it's not
regular
that.
thing. This is
It's
something very
wasp or
specific.
a bat or
Okay.
something that has to, not that.
You have to deal with.
Basically
Yeah.
wasp that has to be interfered.
Okay. All right.
So that's why we changed the
That
wording.
makes more
now.
sense. That is good. Okay. And then just one thing I was going to mention that was in reference to the policy on page 16, 802.2, where we're talking about requests for improvements and not exceeding a cost of $25,000 may be approved by the superintendent. Improvements exceeding $25,000 must be approved by the board. This is something I talked with Matt about last week. Actually, it's just an idea, and maybe I don't know, maybe this is something that we don't want to do, but I just thought it was an idea that I threw out there that maybe we could develop an authority matrix, like a one-pager that, I don't know if that's possible, or if other districts do this, that is just, provides a generalized look at like what the authority of the board is, what the authority of the superintendent is, and down the line like that. Because we have it buried within all of our policies, but it kind of would be nice just to have a one-pager like that. Not just for us and the administration, but also for the public to know, like, oh, the board does not do that. Administration, you know what I mean? The principal, that's not the principal.
Can have on there like when an RFP is required.
That's what I say, you know,
That kind of thing,
only if
yeah.
they're bid, not bid. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we can work
Like
on
in some generalized terms.
Sure.
Okay.
And I will, and it's not a secret, but I will say this every chance I get because it's awesome. But if you look at policy 802, well, you have to look at it, 802.7 is energy conservation. And in case you missed the news last week, Jeff, Ben, and their group were going to be recognized by the U.S. Department of Education for their efforts as a pre-urban school. And hopefully Matt's going to let us do a presentation during the board meeting, but we're really excited. I think that it's just a show of the board, the district's commitment to the environment over the last several years, but only school district in the state and only one of 11 in the nation. So big honor.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's great work. Yeah.
And Ben today, before he was waiting with me, he was talking about a lot of schools get recognized, but the fact the whole district did. I mean, like Chase said, just the few number, in the nation. So it's a really impressive honor. Yeah.
Yeah. I would definitely not leave out the activism of the students that led to a lot of it too, so.
They continue to
Yeah,
contribute.
exactly.
For sure.
Is having a climate action plan part of the application process and the consideration for
I
the
believe so.
district?
Yeah, so I think, all of those different initiatives and, anything from the pesticide stuff we were just talking about to the climate action plan, Charlie, I think, all of those things were comprehensive, how we take care of the grounds, all of that was part of that application. So that'd be kind of the cool thing they can present to you guys and break down like what all went into the application, because that's where Ben's been good about sharing the credit, is it really does impact, so many different sectors of work in the district. So it'd be nice to be able to share that comprehensive look with you guys.
The only other section I would look at is page 11, factors for facilities planning. It provides the factors, and it specifically says that no attempt has been made to prioritize them, and in fact, by achieving one, you may not be able to achieve another. Anyway, I think as we're always looking at FMPs, this is something to have in our purview, or whatever I'm saying. And it should be set in a context where we're aware of this policy. It's just a nice guiding policy as we do the FMP.
So you're saying to reference this policy in our piece, is that?
FMPs.
Oh, okay, so.
Because it's
through our-
relevant.
Like that it guides our decision making,
Yeah.
right? But then it's according to the policy, right? None of these factors are necessarily ranked in order of importance, right?
Right.
But they're all considerations.
It's always nice to link, especially large actions that are ongoing for years at a time, to a policy. And so it's just nice to remember that this one exists as a guidepost.
Okay. I think that might be it. Anybody else? All right. The next P&G meeting, I might be gone. Is that Tuesday the 23rd? I will be out of town that day, so. Yeah. Lisa can probably take over. All right.
Okay.
Can I have a motion to adjourn?
I so move.
Second? All in favor? Aye.